welcome to 2019. My name is Colleen and this is Arcana Rising. Please like, share, and subscribe. So today we are doing a yearly reading for 2019 for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am using the Doreen Virtue Tarot deck. And I'm also going to be using the Magical Messages of the Fairies Oracle deck, also by Doreen Virtue. And I actually shuffled and dealt the tarot cards before hitting record just to save some time so you're not sitting here staring at me shuffling forever. Because I noticed that was a little bit of a theme going on with the first couple videos, so I decided to cut that part out. But I am going to shuffle and deal the oracle cards out while you're here. So I'm going to angle the camera down so you can see the table. I'm doing the first 6 months here in this video. Okay, and I'll just scoot these cards back. Perfect. Okay, so this is January through June, and then we have a theme and a challenge here. And then we're going to also have, oh, you got 2 here, cards for each month, oracle cards. There's February. Whoa. There's March. That card's come up a lot for people. April. There it is. Thank you. May. Back in the deck. Just asked if I'm supposed to keep those or if I should keep shuffling. And I heard a no. So May, and last but not least, let's see what's in store for June. Okay. I'm actually going to keep all 3 of these for June. Feels like it's important. This year feels like it's pretty important for you guys. The same thing happened with Pisces. All the other ones got 1 card for their theme and 1 card for their challenge, which is usually expected. But for some reason, Pisces and you got 3 cards for the overall theme of the year. Pisces got 3 cards for its challenge, but you got 2. So we're going to go over that right now. So make sure you get comfortable because this is going to take a little bit. And here we go. So, the theme. Okay, so we have 2 major arcana cards here, and then the 7 of Swords, or 7 of Air, here. So this feels like it's a very significant year for Aries. Major arcana cards signify major events in our lives. We have the Life Experience card, which says a significant life event. Look at that. Exactly what I just said. A powerful revelation that leads to change, time to spread your wings. I believe this is the tarot card. I mean, not tarot. The Tower card in the tarot. And then we have Awakening, which is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. Look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. And then we have the Seven of Air, which is the Seven of Swords. Plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, poor timing. So it feels like there are some pretty powerful changes that are occurring this year that are calling you to reevaluate your situation and see that there's a better way to do things. Looking at things from a different perspective, plans that need revision, powerful revelation that leads to change. So I feel like there's going to be something spiritual going on here. The Seven of Air, the seven for me, sevens represent spirituality. And then we also have the Hanged Man here, the Awakening, both signifying epiphanies occurring, shifts in the way that you view your life, your lifestyle, how you're handling situations in your life. And then we also have the Tower, which even says, you know, a powerful revelation. So definitely there's going to be something that is going to jolt you this year. And it's really important to kind of step outside of the situation and just take a look at it without getting emotionally wrapped up in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, not reacting immediately, rather stepping away from the situation and viewing it from like a bird's eye view or just a different perspective, like just looking at it differently than you normally would, so you can learn a lesson here. There is definitely a significant lesson that needs to be learned here. Something that is going to definitely shake your foundation. And I'm not trying to say that in a way that's scary. So I mean, it's most likely going to feel uncomfortable because we have the Hanged Man, and Hanged Man usually signifies uncomfortable events, but it's for the purpose of growth, and for it's occurring to kind of snap you out of the way things have always been, so that you can see a new way of doing things. And then your challenge. Okay. Challenge, we have another major life event, so renewal. And this is the Judgment card in the tarot. Review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. And then we have Four of Earth, which is Pentacles. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. So I feel like this is, your challenge is letting go and releasing control. Releasing control and letting go so that you can allow yourself to like embrace the shift, basically. So this is a year of review. This is a year of self-evaluation that is asking you to make some drastic changes in your lifestyle. And I feel like it has to do with how control comes up in your life, and it seems like it affects you more with the way that your finances fluctuate is when your level of control is affected, and learning to like release that control factor, you know, so you can see your own flaws and, you know, accepting them and releasing the old habits, the way you've always done things, so that you can step into this new phase. So this year is a major shift for you. A major shift in how you do things on a regular basis. Okay, so January. Okay, January, we have the Eight of Swords. And this indicates a desire for freedom, or breaking free of the way you've always done things, breaking free of personal fears. This says an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and afraid to take action. So this is a month of allowing yourself to push through those fears and continue moving forward. It's like things have been pretty good mentally for a while, and then for some reason it's like you're waiting for something bad to happen, or you think that whatever's going on is worse than it actually is, and it's like self-sabotage in a way that kind of talks you out of continuing moving forward. And the oracle here is saying that it's important to really, like, this is a month of getting out of your head and reconnecting with the rest of your body. So going out into nature, connect with nature is the one card. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. And then we have get some exercise. As your body becomes stronger, you begin to feel stronger in all ways. So this is a month of getting out of your head and getting some exercise, moving your body more, because the more stagnant you are, the more active your mind becomes and finds things to entertain itself with that are most likely not true, things that have never happened and never will happen, you know, situations like that. You know, the fairies are calling you to get back outside, get yourself grounded. This is a month of grounding. And it's really important that you do this and really check in with your body this month, because it's going to set the tone for the rest of the year. Because if you go into February and March and stuff with a frazzled mind, it's really going to affect how you react to the major shifts that are going to occur this year. and it continues. So first, this is the time of, you know, calming the mind by reconnecting with the body and getting grounded. And then February, we have the balance card, which is temperance in the traditional tarot. It's the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise, wait for perfect timing. So another thing is this year in numerology, 2019, when it's reduced, it is between the karmic number 12 and the 3. So it can fluctuate between the two. That when it's in the 12, it's that energy of the Hanged Man, which is, you know, uncomfortable times that are really asking you to slow down and have patience and just take a look at your surroundings and your environment and see how you can adjust it to reflect your intentions for the year. It's like getting yourself recentered in a way. And then when it's in the 3, that makes the year like highly creative and a really great time for manifesting. So when things start to lull, this is when these are the times when you are attracting the most, because it's like clearing away distractions so that you can get yourself centered and look within again. And then also look at your surroundings and see, how can I shift my surroundings, my environment, to reflect what it is that I'm trying to attract into my life. So it's like strengthening that magnet again, within and without. So when we have the balance card here, the energy of this card feels like a lull, like things kind of slow down again. And this is a month that is calling for patience, so that you can continue to rebalance yourself. So you are in the process of that in January, and then in February you're continuing the rebalancing process by tapping into your emotional self. So we were working with the mental and the physical self in January, and now we are working with the emotional self in February. It says, admit your true feelings to yourself, be honest with yourself, only know what it is that you truly desire. Which really, works perfectly with what I was saying about setting up your whole environment, internally and externally, to continue to reflect and attract what it is that you actually want for yourself and for your life. So, continuing to get recentered and realigned, checking in with your energy and your emotions, and just doing what needs to be done to reflect those feelings. Okay. So, January and February have been a time of recentering, grounding, and rebalancing. And now that you are feeling like you are more in alignment with the universe and with yourself, then you're feeling more energized and ready to go for the year. So March comes in, and it feels like you're just ready to take on the world. Obviously you're still working during this time, so it's possible that now that you are realigned with your truth here, you're being rewarded for doing the hard work with yourself for the first 2 months here. It says victory, good news is on its way, public recognition or awards. This is 6 of Fire, 6 of Wands. And it's about getting back into that fiery energy and surrounding yourself with supportive people. People that are going to support your decisions and support where you're headed. So really pay attention that as you are adjusting your environment to reflect your needs, you're also adjusting, the people that you surround yourself with, that are more supportive of who you are, who you're trying to be, and where you're trying to go. Because we all need that extra, push, that extra motivation. And this is also, the spirit realm really cheering you on, letting you know that, they're supporting you and your decisions. And you may find, spiritual signs coming your way. You may find things are feeling like they're coming together here for you. The oracle card here that I pulled is do some research. You need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. So I almost feel like I want to say where like something isn't as good as isn't as great as it seems, or something like that, or like somebody may be offering you something that feels like it's, you know, really like showering you with gifts, and it's making you feel like this kind of energy, when really you need to be doing your research and on the offer and seeing if it is actually right for you, if what they're saying it is true, and also seeing if it's in alignment with your personal needs and truth and energy, because you need to be choosing things that are reflective of those spiritual needs. So really do the research before saying yes to things. I think that's very important to say for March. Especially in March we have Mercury Retrograde occurring from March 5th to the 28th. So things sounding better than they seem, or than they actually are, is something to really pay attention to. You know, it may be just pay attention to how people are communicating with you and what your heart is signaling to you this month as you are communicating with others, and then do your own research and make your own decisions instead of letting others make those decisions for you. I feel like they're going to be offering you things by tooting your horn, by you know, really lifting you up on a pedestal and like stroking your ego. So just pay attention to that. Okay, so for April we have the moon, which is also a major arcana card. We had a major arcana card in February, which it feels like a very significant time. So this is a very important month, February. And then April feels like a very significant month as well. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. And then we have, I don't know if I showed you the card, sorry. So that's the card. And then we have affirmations to lift up your thoughts and energy, and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. So I feel like this is a month of supporting yourself and continuing to listen to your intuition. This is a highly intuitive and psychic month for you. You are much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And when you are feeling these signals kind of warning you to look into things further, that's your intuition, your gut, really, warning you. And maybe you find that your intuition was right, and you're starting to understand that it's okay to trust those feelings more. And so you go into this month tapping into your intuition on a deeper level and really hearing what your soul is communicating to you. In April, we have a couple retrogrades occurring. We have the Jupiter retrograde. April 10th is when it begins, and it goes until August 11th. And I feel like that's also like the energy of Jupiter kind of coming into play here and making things feel like things are much bigger than they seem bigger than they actually are. Like Jupiter just has this very expansive energy, and like magical energy where like luck comes into play and dreams come true, and it's just very expansive. So things could be occurring at this time that feel like very expansive, and that could have been what was kind of playing with the Mercury retrograde in March, and now in April. I feel like this is a very expansive time for the mind, or the soul in a way. There's something about this month that is quieter, kind of similar to February, where you're checking in with the self to see if you are still on task, still on the path that you most desire for yourself. And it's really calling you to listen to your intuition, to really tap into that energy. So if you're having a hard time, I would definitely go back to square one and get yourself reconnected to your body and out of the thought realm. If you're starting to feel like the January energy is coming back, where your mind is in overdrive, we need to soften that this month. And I feel like it's really calling you to check into your intuition, because it feels like things are going to occur that really challenge your level of trust in your own abilities and your courage to continue moving forward. But there is definitely a pause occurring here, because we have events are occurring behind the scenes. So you are manifesting things, and the universe is working in ways that you don't know about, that you can't see at that moment, but things are coming together. It's just a matter of having patience again in the process, and just kind of like retuning your energy to continue, like it's like strengthening that magnet again and doing what you need to do internally and externally to continue to attract what you want. But the only way you're really going to know what you want is if you really check in with your soul and your intuition during this month. May feels like this is when those major shifts start to occur. So we've got another major arcana card here. We've got release, which is death in the traditional tarot. Release. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. And then we have new home. And it's saying moving is a step in the right direction for you. So these are both telling you that in May, you need to be moving on from whatever it is that you've been working on, or, you may find that it's time to physically move, change your residence this month, or moving on from some situation that makes you feel less than, moving on from some situation that makes you doubt yourself, releasing the need for control, releasing your fears behind money. It's a major time of letting go. And if you're uncertain on whether or not you should let go, it's telling you completely, and both cards are both saying it's time to move on. Moving, new home, time to move on. Spiritual transformation. And I feel like this is coming, because you can feel it as you are checking in and connecting with your soul and with your body. And that's what this year is really, that's the best way to progress in your life, is by continuing to check in with the self. That's a very important message this year for you. because, you know, you may find some pretty chaotic times where things are thrown at you and you're not sure which way to go and you're doubting yourself and all that stuff. And that's why it's important to really implement these practices of checking in and listening to your body and what it's telling you, so that you know you're moving in the right direction. And moving in the right direction isn't always easy. It's not, you know, always smooth sailing. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's when you get to the other side of it is when things really make more sense. It's like hindsight is like 20/20, and you can like look back and be like, oh my God, I had to go through those things because, or I had to let that go because look at this new life that's, you know, unfolding itself to me. June. June feels like a very, very significant month. Wow, okay. Okay, June, we've got the Fool. We're in this deck, it's the Dreamer. A leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So in releasing and letting things that need to die, moving on, in May, and going through this intense transformative process, you have, it's like you've passed those tests so that you can pass through this new portal towards a new way of living. So there's endings occurring. Sorry, it cut me off. So there's endings occurring and new beginnings occurring in May and June. And I feel like this is a death and a rebirthing process here. Death and rebirth right next to each other. It's going to be a very intense time. And let me just show you the oracle cards that came along with it, and I'll explain more how I feel this is a death and rebirth. So, first of all, we have Let Go coming up. So there's 3 oracle cards that came up for June. As you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts what you desire. So control was, you know, the challenge that I talked about earlier this year, like with the challenge, when I was talking about the challenge here, releasing that tight grip on things, because when you try to control everything, it's saying that you know better than the universe, when the universe is able to see things that you are not able to see. So this is a matter of putting faith in the all that is, and trusting, and, you know, sharing the responsibility, you know what I mean? So releasing that grip, because when you have it like this, it's creating resistance to what you're trying to attract from the universe. It's like you want the universe to provide you with things, but you don't trust it enough to do it in the way that you want it to be done. You know what I mean? So you have this tight grip creating resistance, preventing things that you're attracting to come to you. But when you let go, the resistance is released, and then there's space created here for the universe to come in and provide you with what you want. So this is a matter of receiving, you know, allowing yourself to receive, relaxing and surrendering. And that's going to bring in what you desire most. That's going to bring in those unexpected opportunities. When you have faith and you follow your dreams, you will be blessed with unexpected opportunities that are supporting your decision to heed your soul's calling. And in doing that and releasing that grip, when it's like this, it's like you've put this wall around your aura, that it's like a guard, like a level of defense around yourself that is trying to protect yourself from the outside world, from things that you don't want, but it's also preventing you from receiving what you do want. So it's blocking out love as well as hate. So we need to release that tight grip, that feeling that I need to be constantly protecting myself, releasing that fear, and being open to receive. And in doing that, you'll notice that your relationships have a major shift, and you'll start receiving more love in those relationships, in your family relationships, friendships, and your personal love life. So we have the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. So it's positively benefiting your love life. And if you are not in a significant relationship, you may start to find that you are presented with opportunities for love relationships again, because you're allowing yourself to receive love again. And you may find, at some certain points, you may find yourselves in challenging situations, but if you stay in alignment, then it won't feel as, bad as you maybe once thought it was. You know what I mean? And you can easily just move on from it and continue to stay focused on the love. You know what I mean? So if you're afraid of bad things happening, then you're going to attract the bad things. You know what I mean? So stay focused on the love, and that's what you're going to be surrounded with. And as you're in this energy of receiving, there's a great possibility of pregnancy occurring. If you are a woman in a relationship or whatever, if you find yourself in a situation where this could happen, it's possible that this could happen in June. If you're if you're a man in a relationship with a woman, you may find that she falls pregnant around June. Or if you're looking for a surrogate, you may find that it comes together. Or adopting, you may find that starts to, all the pieces start to come together this month. The birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world, is what it says here. But also, in addition to those messages, I feel like when I was talking about the death and the birth process here, so it's like you've died in a way, in some way or another. Maybe you're like a spiritual death or a character death, and you're going through this rebirthing process. So it's he looks like he's in the womb, you know what I mean? Going through this growth process. And then when you're ready to come out and meet the world, you're going to be a completely different person. You know what I mean? So that's just another way of looking at it. It's just, this is the beginning of the transformations. May has just been an accepting the transformation. That it's here and it's time, and you've said yes to it, and you're stepping through and allowing yourself to go through this process of regrowth and rebirth. So, I feel like this could indicate that it's going to be, the rest of the year is all about the growing and the transforming. But, we'll find out when we do the rest of the year. So, with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this reading, Aries. This was January through June. If you'd like to see July through December, you can go to my personal website, and that's my first and last name, ColleenFaris.com. The information is below, and you click on shop, and then you just find your sign, click on it, and it's $6. At this moment in time, it may go up as we get closer to July, so just keep that in mind. But if you'd like to see what the rest of the year has in store for you, that's how you can find out. Please let me know what you think of this reading. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I send you so much love. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful 2019. Take care. Bye-bye.